Okay, we're jumping into the finals now between Michael Yu from Card Disadvantage at the bottom of the screen against Felix Stenitzer at the top. Felix won this head-to-head 2-0 last time, but Michael has to win, otherwise the championship goes to Verlorene at Haufen, if I said that correctly, because Ryan Stark took standard 3 games to 2. And this is a mirror match. Who am I looking at here? Felix on the play. This is the bottom of the screen is Michael's hand. Chooses a slower route with the ether vial first. I suspect this is going to be a very quick match. Both these decks are lightning fast. So we switch back. I'm going to have a struggle switching between between each here. I think did he do that the right way around? Okay. Yep, and then and then he can violin Noble Hierarch. We're just looking at, make sure I've got because this is a mirror match, I get confused. I'm going to put Felix's hand on. Okay, he's going to play out the Reflector Mage to bounce the Para Champion. So it's going to be a hit of 3 from Thalia. No real blocks there for Michael. He can violin the Hierarch into turn. He can't play the champion next turn, but he can play Thalia's Lieutenant, so his existing champion is going to be a 4/4. And he can actually violin the Mayor of Averbrook, so that champion can grow to a 6/6. What does he do here? Yeah, I think he runs out both threats, Thalia and Mir. Then he can Mantis Rider next turn. Well, he's just revealed a Mantis Rider, but he doesn't have he doesn't have the colors to play it. Noble can give him blue or red, but then he doesn't have the other blue or red. Yeah, so you have to play one before combat. So the champion gets a pump here to 4. Michael can actually use the Noble to run out his other ether vial here as well. He can ether vial in Thalia's Lieutenant 5. So once there's no blocks declared, he's going to take 7 damage here. If he might be tempted just to chump block. No blocks, so he's going to vial in the Thalia's Lieutenant. The good thing with this deck is the ether vial doesn't care about, means the land base doesn't care about Blood Moon as much. So there's a second ether vial, so yeah, you can't play that champion at Parish's turn. Felix knows there's a Mantis Rider coming because he revealed it last turn. I don't know why he didn't run out the second ether vial there. But Felix now, I was going to say, he's on the lookout for another Reflector Mage, and that one is timely. So he can bounce that champion to the parish. So now Michael's got 2 champions in his hand and he can't play them next turn either. Yeah, it'll make it a 3-2. I wonder if he is interested in a double block here. He's not. He knows that the Mantis Rider's coming down this turn. Oops, wrong hand, so we'll switch back to Michael's. Kite Sail Freebird is not a very good card in this matchup. He can play Ether Vial, Kite Sail, Mantis Rider. Champions and I know with the Reflector Mage. So Ether Vial. What's he doing here? He's tapped twice. Oh yes, because of the Thalia. So he can't actually play both out. Before combat, yep. Flash in the Mantis Rider. Mantis Rider is going to get in for 5 here with the Hierarch. The Hierarch Exalted trigger. So you look back at Felix's hand. A legendary creature which he can't play. But he can play out that Mare of Averbrook. But this is it's a 2-tone clock and it's not looking good for Felix at the moment. Michael's Mantis Rider needs some sort of answer ASAP. Despite 2 Reflector Mages, you can see the difference in this match between a Ether Vial and no Ether Vial. Goes to 5, so we've got a tight finish here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 against 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 of them are going to get through. One of them's, yeah, 2 of them are going to get through here. But the champion of the parish can come down this turn if he wants. Thalia gets some more pumps. Thalia can actually get in here because yeah, I think he can swing both Thalia and Mantis Rider. Felix knows about the other champion of the parish. I'd swing. Okay. I think game 1 going to Michael here. He's going to crack the Horizon Canopy to see if he can find anything. Well, Kite Sail is going to be a chump blocker. That'll work. It'll buy you a turn to find something to deal with the Mantis Rider, but it's a really bad card in this matchup, in this mirror match. It'll come out after sideboards for sure. Down to 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 against 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 1 will get through here. And Michael just need to do the math to see what can be blocked. There's going to be a ton of chump blocking going on. But yeah, I don't think he can swing at all. I think you just swing the... I'd be swinging the Thalia's Lieutenant if it was me, but then I'm not a very fantastic player here. Not familiar with this deck. Thalia's lieutenant, I think, because he's only got 3, the kite sail has to block the mantis rider, so that Thalia's going to just pick up a free block from probably a reflector mage, I'd imagine. He's thinking, do I want to tick that up to 2, because then he can violin the kite sail. Gonna crack and see what he can find. So what does he do here? 2, 4, 5, 6 against 2, 4, 6, 7. One of them gets through. He's just a point short. If he had a Thalia's lieutenant, it would be over. Mantis Rider's going to get a chump block out of the kite sail, that's for sure. And it means that Felix still has to top deck something. One thing with the interesting thing here with the Reflector Mage, even though it can bounce the creature, he can still put it back through the Ether Vial because Ether Vial doesn't cast the creature. So just the one coming in again. Get the chump block. And Felix is on top deck mode here. Oh, this is interesting. Mirror of Averbrook's flipping. Both of them. Thalia's lieutenant will not do it, so game 1 is going to go to Michael. Yeah, you can see he's just violating his... just in case it's some sort of a... Yep, and there's a concession from Felix. Just in case there's some sort of a sorcery, which doesn't exist in this deck. It's just good play from Michael. You violated it on the draw, so he can still take it. So game 1 pre-sideboard goes to Felix. So here they don't sideboard. I hope they realise that. I forgot to tell them, so we might just have to... It looks like they're sideboarding. Let me see if I can get hold of Michael. Let me just check here. Okay, so we're just going to have a minor restart here. So we'll get out of this match, create a new match, where they'll duel. Felix will concede is it Felix? Yeah, Felix will concede immediately. Go to the sideboard, no sideboarding, and we'll start game 2. We're a bit rushed in between the standard and modern. So it's Michael on the top this time, Felix at the bottom. You can see here Felix has kept his 7 card hand. Oh, Michael's in big trouble. He's gone down to 4 cards. We'll see what Felix's 7 is. He's got an ether vial this time. Picks up a meddling mage. I would have been tempted to. It's a tough call there between the mage and the hierarch. I think yeah, that's the correct one. Thalia, as I've spoken to Felix, we did the podcast. It's coming out on Monday. Thalia is good in this matchup for, he mentioned, for its first strike. And it's going to get the champion here, because I think... Oh no, it's a 3, yeah, of course, the exalted trigger. We're just looking at Felix's hand at the bottom. Thalia Heretic Cather is a very big card in this matchup. But Michael just stabilising a bit here. If he can keep Reflector Mage off, I would be tempted to play Meddling Mage and name Reflector Mage there. Because he's got the champion. There's no champion on Felix's side, so the only way to really stop that, his own champion from running amok, is to Reflector Mage it. He can get in for 5 here. Yep, and he does. So down to 12. These are very quick matches, these ones. He's going to violent a kite sail. He's not going to find anything because that's the first card that will be coming out sideboard. Felix on the hunt for a Reflector Mage here. Although he's going to get a bit of damage in here. But it's 18 to 10, that's the only problem. And he's going to be out of cards. So Felix no cards in hand. He is working with perfect information here. And he's going to see again through the kite sail. Just a Meddling Mage. So Michael's hand is actually pretty good. He just has to hold off these... He's taking 9 here, so it's 10 to 9. Just stick on Michael here. Yeah, he's going to go that. I would be tempted to go to Reflector Mage. Sorry, the Meddling Mage. He's just getting killed because he doesn't have that second land, so... Because Felix here is going to get in for a ton of damage next turn. Does he have to block here? Or does Michael attack? He does attack. You stay aggressive. Kite Sail could consider a chump block. Yep. No. Yes. So see what Felix draws here. Oh, he's got a Mantis Rider. Is that the match? 4. It's going to be 4, 5, 6 coming in the air. Yeah, I think that's just match. So Felix is going to tie it up at 1 game apiece. Very fast game too. Michael mulliganed to 4 and got stuck with 1 land, unfortunately. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, that's lethal. So we're going to go to sideboards here. Now they can sideboard. With the match tied at 1 apiece. Michael has to win, and I'm going to take a short break and be back in a minute. Okay, we're back now. Just jump in. Okay, sorry I missed the start. I had to go to the bathroom and get some medicine. We are looking at... There's Michael on the play this time. He's got a pretty good... Tyler's track will be good here if he can avoid... You see the Vithian Renegaders come in. I'm a bit surprised at the bottom there that we're looking at Felix's hand on the screen at the moment. He's kept the Kitesail freebooters in. Possibly just for the evasion. Michael has another land, so two Tyler's trackers are going to take over this match very quickly. I'm going to be right back. I have to apply some medicine. We see a Mantis Rider there, but this is going to be an old-fashioned race again, so hopefully it's not over. I'll be back in 1 minute. Okay, I'm back, and it looks like, as expected, Tyler's trackers are taking over this match. 10 power on the board. This is going to drop Felix to 8. So it's lethal on board next turn. Again, Felix finds Athalia's lieutenant, but it's going to be a bit slow. He does have the chump blockers to bung the ground up here. So Michael's going to need to find something to stop that Mantis Rider. Mantis Rider can win the match in 3 turns. Well, when he's getting in with both, actually, he's going to win it in 2 turns. So a Noble Hierarch will win this match right here. But a Reflector Mage is going to be a huge, huge play here. We're just looking at Michael's hand at the bottom now. Reflector Mage to bounce that Mantis Rider. He does it before combat. I think he could have actually done that after combat. And then he would have forced a chump block. Mantis Rider down. Unfortunately, he's not going to be able to crack a clue because of the Thalia on the other side. That he just has to be careful. Oh, I was going to say he has to be super careful here because Thalia on the other side is going to get in for at least 5. Thalia's lethal on the other side. So what does he do here? Gets another clue. This is dangerous because any sort of Reflector Mage that can bounce a tracker is going to be lethal. He's going to go for it. This will just force a chump block from the Lieutenant. But if Felix draws a Reflector Mage here, then it's over. He doesn't. But the tireless track is going to be a chump blocker here. Because Thalia's got first strike. Oh, now he's got another evasion threat, a kite sail freebooter. But I suspect that kite sail has to be a chump blocker here. He's not gonna. Oh, he can take the ether vial. Yep. So Michael's gonna get a ton of card 2, 4, 5. He can draw 2 clues here. Has he just got this? Reflector Mage is going to be a 4-5. Tireless Tracker will have to be blocked because it's going to be 7. I think you hold 2 back here, and he has to keep in. He has to remember that Mantis Rider is coming down here. Because he bounced the Mantis Rider with the Reflector Mage, but Mantis Rider can come back next turn. So he has 4 points of damage right there. 3, 4, 5, 6. So I think the only play here is to swing just the Tireless Tracker. Tireless Tracker by itself is lethal. That'll force the freebooter to chump block. He can't forget about he can't forget about the Mantis Rider that's going to come down because he has the 5 points. He actually has lethal on board here. I don't think that there's no point in swinging that Reflector Mage. Just the 1 chump block, so he's going to take 4, gets his ether vial back. He can play that if he wishes. So he's going to represent Path to Exile. So Mantis Rider will come down now. We'll just check out and see what the draw is for Felix. Riders, what of Gavany? What is this? Oh, that's an interesting card, particularly for the mirror. Unfortunately, Felix is 1 mana short of playing it. This match evenly poised. It's 1 game apiece at the moment. This is the first match post sideboard. Felix just doing the math. He's thinking, am I just dead here? Runs out a Mirror of Averbrook. I think he's just dead. 2, 4, 5 on 2 of them are going to get through. No, he's a point short. So what can Michael find here? No, he's no longer a point short because he's got the Thalia's Lieutenant. So Thalia's Lieutenant is going to put him... But yeah, but that is a very spicy sideboard card from Felix. The Riders of Gavany. Michael looking for what? A Path to Exile, perhaps? Okay, so he finds a Champion of the Parish. That'll pump the Thalia. And that's enough for the win, actually. If Mir blocks Tireless Tracker, Thalia blocks Reflector Mage, and Hierarch, then there's still 2 4 points coming through. Yeah, so Michael is going to take the lead 2 games to 1. He can just dump his Thalia's Lieutenant here if he wants, just to make sure of it. And it was Tireless Tracker as the MVP in this game 3. Felix needing to win the next one to stay alive. And this Thalia's, it's going to be more than enough damage to get the win. I mean, he could be representing Path to Exile with the Noble Hierarch, but he doesn't have it. I don't even know if this deck actually plays Path to Exile. I haven't seen it from either player. Atana triggers going on the stack. And with 3 blockers and 5 people coming through, it's at least 7 damage. If he's gonna, Felix is not gonna surrender because he's representing a Path to Exile here. And that's it. So Michael takes game 3. He's up 2 games to 1 now. He's a win short. He needs 1 more win in the next 2 matches to even the series up at 1 game apiece. For card disadvantage, after Der Forlorn Atta Arvin Haufen took standard 3 games to 2. Back to the sideboards now. I think Felix had his sideboard card that he was looking for. He just couldn't find the 4th land. as we're back into it now. Let's see whose hand I'm looking at here. Michael, he's bought in the Is It Static Caster. We'll see what Felix has got. He's also got his... Felix is on the play first. Thalia's a good draw here. But I think Michael's just got more threats at the moment. Yeah, Thalia's going to be good. If the Static Caster comes down, it's going to be a bit awkward. Yeah, you can see Thalia going to work. He can't make his turn 3 play. The Thalia is just a powerhouse in this mirror match. Mantis Rider would not mucking around here. Felix quickly pushing 6 damage. So what's the play for Mike? He's got 2 Reflector Mages, and a Thalia, and a Fiend Hunter. So he's got all the answers here. He just needs the time to be able to play them out. It's got to be Reflector Mage or Fiend Hunter here. Yep, he goes for the Fiend Hunter. Who do you take? Mantis Rider or Thalia? I'd be inclined to take... He's going to take Thalia. I probably... Okay, so he's going to start bouncing Mantis Rider. Mantis is going to be getting in for 4 here. He can bounce Mantis, then he can play his own Thalia. On Felix's side, he's a bit thin on threats now, but Mantis is going to get in for 5. But he's going to draw a card. But you can see now, Felix is out of cards. 3 lands in hand. Put him to 9, and this does not look good for team... Let me get my piece of paper. This is not for team Der Forlorn Atter Arven Haufen. I think it's going to be a 3-games-to-1 win here. Crack, he goes to 8. I mean, 2, 4, 5. He's 1 mana short of playing Is It Static Caster to get that Thalia off the board. So Mantis Rider off the board here. Fiend Hunter will get in for 2. So he can't run out his Mantis Rider next turn. He can do it the following turn and punch in for 4, which is something Michael has to be aware of. And he can only pass a turn here. Yeah, oh, Thalia is a big play though. He knows Mantis Rider coming next turn, so Thalia is going to mean that the Mantis Rider cannot come in and attack immediately. It has haste and vigilance, but it's going to come in tapped. What it will do though when it comes in, 2, 4, 5. Okay, so he's found that land, so he can actually Is It Static Caster and get the Thalia's Lieutenant off the board. Yep. Oh, this is looking really ugly now for the European team. He'll probably offer them a trade here. Do you want to give up anything? He's going to get in for 4. I think if Thalia's Lieutenant doesn't get in front, of something, then we'll see the static caster come down. Yep, there it is. So Thalia's lieutenant is down, and it's a lonely noble hierarch with a tapped Mantis Rider next turn. Not sure what Felix can find here. He needs something big to... Just misses the point of damage not doing that after blocks. Thalia's lieutenant down. If you're going to do that after blocks, you probably could have almost done it on this turn, just in case there's a champion of the parish. He's got his one Reflector Mage as what's left in hand. Felix's draw is yet another land, so land flooding at the worst possible time. He's got 4, 6, 9, 10. Yeah, he's not happy. There's 10 damage on the board right now. Once a Reflector Mage comes down, there's going to be 11 damage on the board. Reflector Mage to bounce Mantis Rider, and this one's over, so it's going to be card disadvantage, evening the series up here at 1 game apiece. Down will come Reflector Mage. This one's done. Felix has conceded, so card disadvantage takes Modern 3 games to 1. There's going to be a 5, 6, 7, 10, 11. What do you bounce here? I think you got to bounce the Mantis Rider. Yeah, so he bounces the Mantis Rider. There's no point bouncing the Hierarch because he's still short of lethal damage. The Hierarch's going to get in front of the champion, so he's going to take 5. He's only going to take 6. Michael's last card in hand is a land. I don't think it's possible to take... And this is interesting because if he had his static casted before damage in the previous turn, he could have Reflector Maged that Hierarch and this would be lethal. But it's going to take an extra turn. I don't think it's going to make a difference because he's still going to push the damage. Just waiting for Michael here. Pushes through, he goes to 1, so we'll see what Felix draws. Either of will go to 2. There's literally nothing unless he somehow bought in a board wipe, which he does have the mana to play it, yeah. His draw, probably another land, yeah, another land, and Felix will have to concede, and card disadvantage takes Modern 2 games to 1. Can't play that Mantis Rider. And it's all over to Legacy to decide the championship. And just to rub it in here, we've got a Mantis Rider from Michael. The whole crew's going to get in with plenty of damage. Michael, I don't think, knows that there's an attack with all button by the looks of it. He's going to click each one individually. Yeah, get in there with the static caster. No, he's going to hold that back. And so that should be the match. We'll go to Legacy now, hopefully. And game to card disadvantage.